Page 42, By Moonlight. This piece is in the key of E flat major. It's got 3 flats. I find E flat major to be a bit of a trick to play. It just doesn't fall under the fingers real well. For me, it never has. However, not everything in piano fits real nice. There's a lot of awkward things going on, and we have to learn to deal with this. Don't shy away from them. We got to learn to deal with them. So E flat major has, as I said, 3 flats. The B flat is always the first flat. The E flat is always the second. And the third flat is always an A flat. So anytime you see any of those notes, you're going to play the flat instead. So here we go. 3 lines long, treble and bass clef. 3/4 time. We're back to 3/4 time again. Rhythm-wise, this is not a problem. It's mostly quarter notes. At least it's quarter notes in the left hand, so you can see what the left hand is doing on the beat. There is a half note and a rest. It's always got to be one, don't you know? Let's take this one hand at a time and make sure we have the fingering and the notes okay. I have a suggestions. The idea is, depending on the size of your hand, a lot of times we don't want to be up in here any more than we have to be. Even with small hands, it's probably best not to be up here any more than you have to. So sometimes when black keys are involved, we adjust the fingering so we can stay out here. E flat major is a key we got to do that in. Now, we can't stay out here all the time. We have to come up in here sometimes. Just going to have to do it. I'm sorry. But we can adjust our fingering so we can stay out here sometimes. At the beginning, they start you out in this position, which is this position. Remember the E flat, the A flat, and the B flat? Well, that's the position. Of course, you don't have to push them down like I do, but you're up here to start with. Now, you don't have to be here. You can be out here. Just know that the black keys are involved. So if you want to start out here, it's fine. But you're not going to play an E natural, A natural. It's a little confusing. So you're here, and they want you to do this. 1, 2, 3, and then come up. Because remember, we're in this position. Well, I like to stay out here. So I'm going to adjust the fingering a little bit so I don't have to play thumb on that note. I want to play second finger instead. And I can do that nicely here because in the first measure we have a repeated note. The G is played twice. Remember, in fingering style that I use, you can use repeated notes to change hand positions. So I'm going to start with 3 and then immediately do 4. So I just changed hand positions. This way I can play it with second finger. I stay out here because I have a rest, and during the rest I can come up. And you just straighten the little finger out. I mean, when you're playing only black keys, it doesn't matter. Now, at the beginning, instead of 3/4, I could have just started with 4. And I am encouraging you to do the 3/4 simply because you get a little practice at changing fingers on repeated notes. And we need practice at that. So I'm still going to do a 3 and then a 4. Anyway, second line, you're up here. 1, 2. And the thumb comes down at the end of the line here to a D. You're staying out here. And then the last line is the same as the first. Well, it starts the same as the first. I'm going to do 3 and then 4. There. That's what I suggest. You can use the fingering in the book. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just trying to keep the hand out here as much as possible and not be up in here. Because you can play that. You're staying up here pretty much through most of it. Now, on the left hand is a different story because we have the E flat chord, and that immediately puts us up in here. You're pretty much up here all the time. And if that isn't working for you, your third finger doesn't fit, well, then you have to change it to maybe this. Last 3 measures, the first line, here and 4, because I want to connect everything. to, you got to stay out here, you do that. But if you can, I encourage you to go ahead and use the fingering in the book and get used to playing, or not used to it, but get some experience at playing up in here. So both hands, just check the notes out, because they're different notes. So again, it's here. You got these together, and these together. Rest. So you play that, the right hand comes up, it's got to move. And here, and then these. Anyway, you go through and put the hands together, and then when you're satisfied you have it okay, you can try the articulation, which they don't really give you any. You can lift up between the phrasing, but most of the time they give you a rest in the right hand. You have to lift up. So the phrasing is built in. It's one phrase, and then that's one phrase. Now, I could take all of that as one phrase, like one sentence. It's kind of a long sentence, but I could do it, and then lift up. In the left hand, connect the whole thing all the way through. The only time you lift up in the left hand is at the end of the second line, where you have a rest, and at the end of the third line when it's over. Then you can think about the dynamics. Starts out P, piano soft, and that's the melody, which is the right hand. Whatever you think soft is, you decide this left hand needs to be really soft. Then you have a crescendo there, the hairpin in the fourth measure to go up to moderately loud. So this is going to be about a moderately soft to moderately loud here. Then come back down. You start out, this is the third measure from the end of the first line. You start out moderately loud, come down a little bit, pick a little more, back down to soft here. So take your time. The left hand stays in the background. In the second line, you're moderately loud in the right hand. And you're going to go up to loud. Bob, bob. So it's better you get to know it well enough you can feel these dynamics. But okay, the second line, moderately loud. Go up to loud. And here, at the end of the line, come down to moderately loud. Sort of moderately loud. I don't suggest you come down to moderately soft yet. Stay on the loud side here. One beat rest, and then all of a sudden you're soft like you were at the beginning. So you had one beat rest to recover from the loudness, and now we're soft again. And in the middle of the line and the last line, you get a little louder, go up to moderately loud. Here. Moderately loud on the half note, not before. And you go back down to soft. The dotted half note at the end, that's soft. Not before. Here. And the left hand, can you continue to get softer? As this dies away, can you make the left hand do that? So all the time I'm doing this, I want to hear that. And this is soft, so you can bet how soft the left hand has to be. Yeah. And there's a retardando there at the last four measures or so where you start slowing down. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It doesn't say how much to slow down. I don't know, whatever feels right. Now finally, the speed on Dante is kind of a leisure pace, like a stroll through the park. Not slow, so you'll have to decide what you think a leisure part. Depends on how much coffee I've had to drink, or wine, or whatever I'm drinking that day. I don't know. let's play it together slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. Not going to do any dynamics, just playing the notes. I'll give us 3 counts. Even just one hand at a time if you need to at first. 1, ready, go.